Hey everyone, Scary here, welcoming you back to Learn2Magic. Thanks very much for joining me this week. We're going to be looking at a mono red deck that I built a few months ago for Friday Night Magic, and we're going to be revisiting that deck because it fits the bill of this particular focus here very well, as we're focusing on mono red. So goblins, of course, cheap creatures, efficient spells, and so on. This looks like a very good hand, so we're going to go ahead and keep that. So some of the cards in this hand include Goblin Arsonist. He's just a 1/1, and when he dies, you get to do 1 damage to target creature or player. Really cool for doing trades with the 2/2, or even just putting damage on your opponent's face, which is really nice. The Shock, of course, a classic card for 1 mana, 1 red mana here, being able to do 2 damage to a target creature or player. Gutter Snipe, which does 2 damage to our opponent whenever we play an instant or sorcery spell. And then we've got, of course, the Seismic Strike here for 3, which deals damage to a target creature equal to the number of mountains we control. So not too bad at all. We're going to start things off with a Goblin Arsonist, and we're going to pass the turn. I really like Goblin Arsonist, and in fact, I used to play mono red back in Innistrad when that was legal, so illegal for standard rather. So I played a lot of standard in Innistrad block, stuff like Lightning Mauler, Foundry Street Denizen, Stormcrook Noble, a bunch of those good things. Oh, Foundry Street Denizen was Gatecrash, wasn't he? Yeah, I didn't add that until later, but that he was pretty cool. I think I eventually replaced him with something else. So let's go ahead and play. Well, first of all, let's see if he wants to trade, because this is unblockable. I don't think he's going to want to trade, especially if he's got some enchantments that he can put on it. So he's got a Triton Shorestalker here. 1/1 can't be blocked, and I'm perfectly fine with trading. So I can either do 1 to his face, or, well, it would be 1 to his face if he decided to trade. And looks like he's going to block. Or not. Okay, he's not going to block. That's fine. So we're going to play another land, and instead of shocking it right now, we're going to wait until we have our Gutter Snipe out, because if we use our shock with the Gutter Snipe out, it means that he'll be doing an extra 2 damage to our opponent. Of course, by doing that, we're taking a little bit of a risk that he's going to put something on this guy, like Ordeal of Thassa, or something like that, which will pump him up. But we can always do that in response, because if we play our Goblin, we're still going to have 1 mana up for our shock. So if we absolutely need to play our shock in response to him getting bigger, we can always do that. And it's instant speed, so that's really nice. So we're going to go ahead and just play our Goblin's second main phase. And then we just pass the turn with the shock in hand, and we have the mana available to play it, should we need to. I don't think I want to waste it. If he's going to attack us just for 1, that's absolutely fine. We're going to be doing a lot more damage to him anyway. And with this, unless he plays another Shorestalker, we'll be able to push through another 2 damage at least. And then also be able to play our Goblin here. So it looks like he's not going to play anything else. That's fine. And wow, what a draw. So we just drew into Goblin Rabblemaster. 3 mana, 2/2. Other Goblin creatures attack each turn if able. That's creatures that I control. And then at the beginning of combat, on our turn, we get to put a 1/1 red Goblin creature token onto the battlefield with haste, which means he can attack right away. And then whenever a Goblin Rabblemaster attacks, he also gets +1/+0 for each other attacking Goblin. Really good card. I have this in my Perforos Commander deck, and he just gets absolutely crazy. So the really cool thing here is, well, he's going to make it so that our other Goblins have to attack, but it's not really a big deal considering that if you're playing Goblins in a deck, they're almost always going to be attacking anyway. So let's go ahead and play that. I did want to play the Gutter Snipe, but I'd rather play it after I play this guy, because if I play the Gutter Snipe first, that means that after I play the Goblin Rabblemaster, this guy, that he will make my Gutter Snipe attack, and then if he's got a blocker and some damage or anything like that, the Gutter Snipe will be dead, and that's going to be no bueno for us. So let's go ahead and attack here with our 3 tokens, or our 1 token and our 2 Arsonists for 3 damage, bringing him down to 16. Unfortunately, we don't have the shock mana up this time, but it is a bit of a risk that you take when you play a card like the Goblin Rabblemaster, so hopefully he doesn't have a bounce or something like that. I was more worried about, okay, Frostlinks. And I think he's going to tap the Goblin Rabblemaster. That's perfectly fine. I'm not planning on attacking with him anyway. And I feel like since he doesn't seem to be playing a heavy enchantment game, or at least not right now, we don't have to worry too much about swinging into this. Although I think what I will do is play a land, and I will think preemptively before combat, I'm going to play the Gutter Snipe, because he's tapped out, so at least he's not going to be able to counter that, which is really nice. And then we're going to go ahead and do 2 damage to his Frostlinks, because that could be really bad news for pretty much any of our guys. All of our guys are 1/1s right now. And again, the really cool thing about playing the Gutter Snipe right now is because he's got Summoning Sickness, he's not able to attack, as Goblin Rabblemaster says he should. So we can just attack with our 2 Arsonists and our 2 tokens, and we'll see what he wants to do with this 1/1. If he wants to block one of them, that's fine. If he blocks one of the tokens, not a big deal. If he blocks an Arsonist, we're going to do 1 damage to his face. So we're going to get that damage across one way or another. And that's going to get rid of his Shore Stalker, which I'm pretty happy with. So let's go ahead and do that damage to his face. And we've got him down to 10, so that's pretty good. Hopefully he doesn't have any other big blockers or defenders or anything like that, but in that case we'll be able to get rid of it as long as he only plays 1. Alright, what does he play here? 2/2 Flyer. Alright. Not a big deal. I think we pretty much just win this game here, because we can Seismic Strike and... oh my goodness. Well, we could Seismic Strike and just attack with everything, and I think we just win, because we're going to get another 1/1 here. So we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage in play. So we don't quite win here, but that's okay. And why don't we go ahead and preemptively Seismic Strike here, get rid of his Flyer, because this thing pumps up his other guys as well. Not pumps up, but it makes them cheaper to cast. And he's just left with the Selfless Cathar here. We go into combat, we make a token, and we swing with everything. The reason why I wanted to get rid of this thing is because it's a 2/2, and our Gutter Snipe has to attack this turn. So he can easily just trade with the Gutter Snipe, and then that really puts us at a bit of a disadvantage. I mean, we would still have our tokens, but the Gutter Snipe is a great card that you want to have out at all times if you can manage to have him out, because any spell that you play, like a Shock for example, is going to be doing an extra 2 damage to his face. So he's deciding not to block here. That's really interesting. I think he kind of realizes the game is over. And because this was fairly quick, I'm going to go ahead and just do another one. I was wondering whether I should have played the Krankos command or not, but now that we've actually got the Goblin Shortcutter, we can make it so that his 3/3 can't block, and that'll be the game. Not that it would have really mattered. I mean, he has 2 blockers, and we can still do 3 damage anyway. He's tapped out. Let's just go ahead and... yeah. Alright, let's check out this opening hand here. And it doesn't look too bad. In fact, it looks fantastic. This is probably one of the best opening hands we could get, because we have our Quest for the Goblin Lord, as well as our Foundry Street Denizen, Krankos Command, and of course the famous or infamous Goblin Rabblemaster, depending on which side of the table you're sitting on. Let's go ahead and keep that. And turn 1, we're going to go ahead and play our Quest for the Goblin Lord. And whenever we play a Goblin, we put a counter on it, and as long as we have 5 or more counters on it, all of our creatures get +2/+0. Really, really good. A good aggressive play. And the follow-up play is going to be basically to play our Foundry Street Denizen, who gets pumped up +1/+0 for each red creature that comes into play under our control until end of turn. So we're going to go ahead and play that next turn, and the following turn we're going to play Krankos Command, and then following turn we'll be playing this. So hopefully, as long as we have no serious disruptions, we're going to be fine. And I wonder, yes, this will be good. I'm going to save this actually for turn 3, because we'll be able to have 3 mana available. So right now, let's just play our Foundry Street Denizen and just pass the turn. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We get a 1 activation of our Quest for the Goblin Lord there. Really cool. And we can play this little dude, but I think we're just going to pass. We want to make the best possible use of our Foundry Street Denizen. So he's not playing red, he is playing black. I don't know if there's any removal for 1. I think there's Ulcerate, but to remove a 1/1 with Ulcerate would be not exactly a fair trade, and it doesn't look like he's doing anything. So this is really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and play that. We're going to play this. Okay, Krenko's command. We get 2/1/1 tokens, another 2 charge counters or quest counters on that. Pumping up our Foundry Street Denizen, and then we play one more. This was a very good opening hand, I must say. Very, very aggressive. We're going to be hitting him for 4 with the Foundry Street Denizen. And next turn, providing everything survives. Well, you know what? Let's just leave it until next turn. I'm not going to speculate right now because it's a little bit too early. But next turn, if nothing dies, oh my, it's going to be crazy. So let's see what he does. He's playing a bunch of tapped lands, so he's probably playing some variant of a control deck, maybe. Who knows? There's a Plains. Okay. Wow, that is really unfortunate. See, this is... And this is not a card that you see play very often. That you see in play very often. Nevertheless, wow, that's... what would have happened is we would have played our Goblin Rabblemaster, of which we now have 2 in the deck. 2 in our hand. And it would have triggered our quest for the Goblin Lord. That would have given each of these guys +2/+0. On top of that, we would have triggered him twice, because we would have the Goblin Rabblemaster come in as well as the token at the beginning of combat. So, yeah, it would have been absolutely crazy. But that's okay, because we're going to play the Rabblemaster right now. And we're going to swing for a lot. So we're going to pump him up by twice. By 2. Oh, guys, it has been a long, long week. I do apologize. So he's a 3/1. And all of the goblins have to attack. So we're going to go ahead and attack 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. And what is this, turn 4? Not bad at all. So we're going to bring him down to pretty low, 13. It's not too bad. But if he doesn't have something to get rid of all these guys, he's got 1 red. Yeah, so unless he plays a red source, he's not going to be able to... what am I trying to think of? Anger of the Gods. And this is a hell of a board state we've got here, guys. I'll be honest, even without the quest for the Goblin Lord here, he's going to gain 2 life, okay? So that's still not a red source. 6 cards in hand at 15 life. And I'm really curious to see what he has. I don't think he has anything by just the way I see him taking his time here. Yep, he's got nothing. Yeah, it's GG for sure. Wow. Well, we get another token. And we just attack. Suffer the past, and that's fine. And what I'm going to do is just 2 damage to his face, because why not? Good game. Very good game. An 8-2 Rabblemaster, wow. Alright, let's do one more. That was pretty quick. Alright, so this is going to be our final game here. And man, this hand is stacked. Holy cow, I really want to keep this, but there's just no land, and I can't. But this is hilarious. If we only had like 2 lands. Oh, well, this will do. Wow, okay. We're just gonna pass the turn here. Wow. Well, with the hand that we had last game, I don't know. Oh man, a couple of land would have been perfect. But that's okay. RNGesus was clearly not on our side. Let's play Quest for the Goblin Lord. Looks like we're playing black, green, and blue so far. Play another land. And let's pass the turn. There's no reason to play our Bushwhacker here. Of course, we also have the Shock and the Gutter Snipe. Raid Bombardment, really, really cool. Whenever we attack with something with power 2 or less, it deals 1 damage to our opponent. Defending player, I believe. Yes, defending player. Is it still our turn? Okay. Didn't pass. Like I said, it's been a long week. Been getting a lot more work. Which I suppose is not too bad. There's another shock. Let's take a risk here and play the Gutter Snipe. 2 shocks in hand, so we've got potentially 8 damage. Hopefully he doesn't have a way of getting rid of it right now. Okay. Okay, so that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. He does get to draw a card. Interesting. Well, I think I want to play this. But I think it's better to play this right now. So, why don't we go to combat? He's only got a 1/1. He probably doesn't have anything in his hand that will interact with killing my Gutter Snipe after he blocks if he decides to. But with that being said, he's tapped out anyway. So might as well attack. The reason why I didn't play the Raid Bombardment is because I do only have 3 mana available. And I don't want to play that right now. I want to play that in a blowout situation where I'm going to be able to attack with 3 or 4 guys at once just to surprise him. But second main I'm going to play this. And I'm going to leave mana up for shock as well. And then we just pass. I can't believe this card is, it's just so silly. Especially with Krenko's command, it's pretty fantastic. And all of your creatures getting +2/+0 is a really good thing, to be honest. Alright, so he's going to cultivate. Which is fine. He might as well swing here because I think it's going to die anyway. I have a 1/1 blocker, but if I were him, I'd probably be fair in assuming that I wouldn't block with my 1/1. That could get pumped up. Nevertheless, we're going to play shock. Trigger on the Gutter Snipe, 2 damage to his face. And then 2 damage to his creature. And we get another land. Very good. So now the question is, do we go for the damage, or do we go for this thing? And I say we go for this thing, because we have extra damage right now. We will be doing extra damage as well with this. Each of these guys will get +1/+1, or +1/+0, and the Foundry Street Denizen will also get +1/+0 from this coming in, because it's a goblin, and we'll also get a tick on this. But I think it's about time I get this thing in play, plus I'll have an extra 1 mana available for shock, so let's just go ahead and do that. Go to combat. Attack with both. He's tapped out, so he's just going to be taking the damage, +2 extra damage to his face because of these guys being at power 2 or less. And that's it. Now we just wait. We'll see what he does. Unfortunately, our quest for the Goblin Lord is probably not going to pop off anytime soon. But hopefully, I don't know, we might even be able to win next turn. He's at 11. If he doesn't play a blocker, we would have 1, 2, 3, another 4 from the Foundry Street Denizen being pumped up, 5, 6, plus another 2 damage from Raid Bombardment, that's 8, and another 2 damage from shock, that's 10, plus the trigger on the Gutter Snipe. That's lethal. Yeah. That is lethal. The only thing is now he's got a blocker in play. So I think what I want to do is just get rid of his blocker. Or, you know, just play Goblin Rabblemaster. Oh, what does he have? Does he have a counterspell? He has a dissolve. Wow. Well, it's probably a good thing. Good for him. And I think I'm just going to shock that. 2 damage to his face. 2 damage to his creature. I know I could have used that for his face, but the thing is, I don't want any blockers, especially if I've got fragile creatures like this. I don't want any shenanigans, and he did just blow his dissolve. Takes another 2 there. We'll take another 3 here. He's down to 4. Not bad. 7 cards in hand, though. If he doesn't play anything else crazy, we might have the win. And he's going to play an Anger of the Gods. Okay. Well, the game's not over then. Hopefully we draw into another Goblin Rabble Master. That'd be pretty sweet, huh? Let's see what we get. Alright, Krenko's Command, not bad. Actually, I think this is lethal now. Unless he's got a counterspell? He's got a negate. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm just going to pass the turn. Krenko's Command would have been lethal, because it would have put another 2 1/1 goblins in play. So we would have gotten 4 counters on this thing. He's going to think twice. We would have had 4 counters on that. The 5th would have come from that. I would have kicked it, giving all of them +1/+1 haste. And that would have been more than enough to kill him. Unfortunately... You know what? I think we've just got lethal with this, though, because if we just pump this up... This will do... 2 damage? No, that'll only deal 1 damage. If it dealt 2 damage, that would be lethal with just him. Oh, so close. So close yet so far, but I don't think he's going to be doing anything else. He's down to 4 cards. He's used 2 counter spells already. 2 or 3. Well, there's another Krenko's Command, so let's see what he's got. Another negate! Well, it is what it is. Let's just kick this. He's going to be at 1. At least we put him in shock range. And if this goes unanswered in the next turn, then he's going to be losing the game. Something tells me he's going to have an answer, though. With this much land and 4 cards in hand, there's no way that you can't have an answer. And speaking of which, Charmbreaker Devils comes in, 4/4. He gets a random sorcery or instant card from his graveyard. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to save him. Let's just try to win here. Beautiful. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you next time.